All right, so should we talk a little bit about what's going on?
Yeah, because obviously everybody's all around the country been focused on this. The wildfires going on in Los Angeles that are still going on, and it's actually expected to get worse today because dangerous winds are kicking up, and that's threatening the week-long effort of crews to just try and get this thing under control.
At least 24 deaths have been reported across Los Angeles County so far. Officials are worried that number's going to rise. Crews are out there reinforcing fire lines, building up barriers to hold the flames back. It comes as a new fire ignited in a neighboring county, Ventura County. Is that near you?
That's right in between. I'm in Santa Barbara County.
Yeah.
Ventura County is between L.A. and Santa Barbara.
All right, planes that drop firefighting chemicals and crews ready to attack that hot spots, and they're positioned all across the city. L.A. County's fire chief says crews are better prepared, but they're still warning that everyone in the potential fire zones should be ready to evacuate.
There's still 150,000 people who have been evacuated. So a lot of people don't even know whether their homes are still standing.
I know. I was watching, I go on Instagram and I see a lot of friends' stories, like Sandra Lee. She thought she lost everything, but she was allowed back into her neighborhood yesterday. Her house is still standing in a neighborhood where everything else was decimated.
Those are the miracles. And again, this is not about me, but we got hit by the wildfires in 2017.
Yeah.
We thought we lost our house because the people on our left did, the people across the street. We lost some of the property and some buildings, barns and that kind of thing, but the house wound up standing. We had firefighters there hosing it down, which saved it, but it's one of those things you don't know until you get back in.
I know.
And you try to keep hope, but you hear the reports like, well, this person lost, then I'm probably gone. So it's a miracle because these embers just fly everywhere. Just really do. It picks up in the wind. And one of the other problems that you have with this is that when you get moments of disaster, not just with wildfires, we've seen it with hurricanes and tornadoes, any type of major disaster around the country. In this day and age, unfortunately, a lot of people try and prey on the victims.
Terrible.
Yeah.
All right.
And also those people that are trying to help out and lend a hand.
Right. Good Day Wake-Up banker Dan Bowens, you've been looking at all this. I mean, I feel like people in those neighborhoods, especially they went after that guy who had the blowtorch the other day.
Right.
It's just like people were coming out of their houses to hold this guy down.
And we have seen a lot of arrests. We've seen some people who are actually dressed like firefighters, sort of burglarizing homes, and that's one part of it. The other aspect is the actual donations. California's wildfires bringing a new threat, scamming, exploiting generous donors as well. Consumer advocates are urging you this morning, verify charities before you donate, ensuring your help reaches the right hands. For every image we see, there is a story. For every home destroyed, every church burned to the ground, entire communities wiped away, there are families who lost everything, friends who don't know where to go. People like Marique Anderson picking up the pieces.
And I looked at our backyard and the fire, and I was like, okay, my house is burning down tonight.
They are loved ones who need help, strangers living nightmares, hope for all hanging by a thread. And no matter how much the rest of us want to help, there are those who take advantage, preying on kindness, ready to turn generosity into profit.
When you've got this kind of love and support, you also have the scammers seeing an unbelievable opportunity.
And says tech expert Shelly Palmer, from this unbelievable crisis, he's already seeing scammers trying to move in, posting fake charities, using the latest artificial intelligence technology to make their sites look real.
It looks like the charity. The site is identical because you can use AI now to build a site that looks like another site in seconds. So this empowers people who would never be able to scam you to scam in an incredibly accurate way.
At his website, ShellyPalmer.com, he's created a list of vetted organizations, groups like the American Red Cross, California Community Foundation, California Fire Foundation, and Baby to Baby, a nonprofit focused on helping children. And he has this advice.
I don't want to overly scare anybody. This is an important time to donate. These are people in desperate need. I'm just urging caution, and the cautionary tale, really simple. Check the URL, make sure it's right, make sure it's secure, use a credit card, and donate to reputable charities.
And on the ground in Los Angeles, comedian Jay Leno helping to serve meals to emergency responders. Another sign there is no shortage of need, even for these crews still busy helping others. And we also wanted to offer a few other trusted resources that people can check out for donations. We do have a list. They're Charity Navigator, BBB, Wise Giving Alliance, that's from the Better Business Bureau, or Charity Watch. Charity Watch is one of those ones where you can go onto that website. It sort of lists a lot of the different charities that are out there, and you can decide maybe which one is the particular one that you want.
I know Charity Navigator is like that too, because I've used that in the past before.
Yes, exactly right.
And those are the best, at least I believe, the best ways to find out whether or not it's a legit source. And it also usually, at least with Charity Navigator, it has a link to that, so you're making sure you're going to the right place and not getting one of those that looks like it just because the website
Right, you're off
sounds
by
similar.
a letter or something.
Exactly.
I mean, Fox is supporting right now Red Cross, American Red Cross. And so that's where we are going right now. We're encouraging you, if you have a few dollars, to go check out the website there.
Yeah, the website is go.fox/Red Cross, or you can scan the QR code right there on your screen if you want to make a donation.
It's exactly right. You know, it's one of those things, if I could just offer a personal story. I had a family member who did lose a house in the fires there. And at first, they sort of asked just for space and privacy because they don't know what to do. You know, they don't know what to do next. And so sometimes, even if it's a friend, a family member, just a call a week later.
Right.
Just to check in on them. Because they tell you the news, you say, oh, anything you need. Anything you need, I'll be there for you. But what they need is a week, 2 weeks, a month later, just to process it, and they need to know that you still do care. And so I think that phone call, that text message, it can make a big difference.
We talked with Dr. Jen Hartstein just about that about half an hour or so ago, and it is so important to kind of keep in touch because everybody inundates them right at the beginning, and a week or two or a month later, then people forget, and that's when they realize sometimes, oh, this is what I actually need. That would help me get through the situation.
I'm just wondering, you know, I grew up in Brooklyn. All my family was in the same neighborhood. Like when, God forbid, something like that happened, your whole family has the same problem as you do. Where do you go?
Yeah, and that's one of the problems, particularly in the Altadena area, because a couple of the people I know who lost their homes, they lost their home, their parents lost their home, because they all grow up and kind of live in that same neighborhood. Even if they go away for a while, they come back to that neighborhood, and that's why so many families wind up devastated, not just individuals.
I saw that on 60 Minutes. They highlighted a person from the Altadena area. They had been there for 50 years. They grew up there.
It's an old
they were
community.
raising their kids there.
So
it's just heartbreaking.
the house where I was born was right there on Rubio Road. It burned down.
Really?
Yep. The house right there in Altadena.
Sorry for you and your family as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody okay though, physically?
Everybody physically is okay, which is what they say is the most important thing. And so now it's just a matter of reaching out and making sure if you do want to help, you sort of reach out to some of those charities that we were talking about.
Because this can be a long process, and we're talking years.
Oh yeah.
All right. Thanks for helping us out there.
You got it.
All right.